And and then I look at it and I'm like, why are we pretending like these people need to be coddled and played with? Because I honestly I have been in the corporate America for forever. I've always been a department head, and so it's like, I try so hard not to come off as like the angry black woman. And unfortunately, the microaggressions and all those things I experience all the time. And I never really get to have a great outlet for that. Mm-hmm. But, when people start asking questions, I love to give my 2 cents. So.
From what it sounds like, I don't think there's going to be a point where you won't be the angry black woman, despite not being angry at all. Just every time Athena opens her mouth in here, they're like, "You're yelling at me," and I'm just like, "From where, dude? Right. What game are you watching?" And it's crazy to watch it happen. Obviously, I don't know if you know this, but I've never been accused of being the angry black woman. So I've heard a lot about it, but seeing it happen in real time, I'm just like, you fucking just did the thing. Just don't do that. You're just doing the thing it's crazy to watch it unfold. And
I'm telling you, there's been some times on here when I've been watching you where I feel like I could get up here and make people wonder why God even put them on this earth. And I'm telling you, I can say something. I'm telling you, I could say some things that make you feel like, why did God even put me here?
I'm just going to Homer Simpson fade into the... Yeah.
But I restrain so much because, you know what? I'm kind of used to it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to get this person up here too. Teddy.
Hello, dear.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, Isha, I love you, baby.
Oh, babe.
Yeah, you're one of my faves. Yeah.
We're going to start a podcast.
I would gladly. Oh, we could have a hot takes segment where I could do all my hot takes.
You could just alienate our audience? Is that what you want to do? You're just like, let's ruin this a little bit. Here comes Teddy Martin.
Right, we'll be like, you thought you were having a good day? Hey.
You know who hasn't had a struggle? Sea turtles. Fuck these sea turtles, dude.
I'm pretty sure they had the hardest struggle ever, where like 95% of the babies die before they reach the fucking sea. Like, it's like the hardest struggle ever to be a fucking sea turtle.
Well, I learned they were a keystone species, so we amended our statement.
If a tree falls, I haven't caught what you've been putting down in the comments. What's going on?
Hi. What's going on? Life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Cool.
Can I have a more specific question than that?
Sure. Give me 2 seconds.
Turtle power. You see, Coco said turtle power.
Did you see that yesterday? Do you know what we're talking about when we say turtle power, Isha?
No.
Unhinged shit. We'll get back to it. If a tree falls, said something about like this is the white savior place, and I'm just curious.
That one lady who was like, oh, here's my specific story, and I have this family, and I behave in this way, and pick me. I'm the proper version of. It's just
The one that was just in here just now.
Yeah, I reject that. It just made me. Ugh.
Oh. I don't know that it's your place to reject that.
And that's fine.
If I'm honest.
It isn't, but it just gave me the ick. Like it just, I felt like she was.
You heard a grandmother talking about this sort of like weird space that she finds herself in and wanting to care so much for her granddaughters that it brings her to tears in front of 1,500
but she
people.
made it about her, though. She didn't make it about
her. It's her story.
It's not about her, though. It's about the kids. It's not about her.
She was literally asking how she could handle this from people in this community. It's her
work to do.
You're allowed to.
She shouldn't be asking other people, how do I how do I be better?
Okay,
Like,
but wait,
it's
I
like
don't know that
putting
you
the-
need to-
It's putting the object on other people to like solve
you know what,
her troubles that she feels inside of herself.
I think you
It's probably
speaking
empty.
on behalf of black people's emotional labor is also a little weird. No?
So I'm not coddling her or anything like that, but I realize that also he has never had to deal with that type of situation before. So for her to actually be in here and be a little bit vulnerable, we need to recognize that somewhat.
That's
I
fair.
mean-
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, acknowledged.
So-
Acknowledged. I rescind
Okay.
then. I rescind.
I just don't feel like, there are some people that are true ignorant and true bigots and all of that stuff in here. But I also feel like, if we're not willing to have two sides of the conversation, then we're not willing to have the conversation at all.
That's fair.
Yeah. And for me,
Yes.
I feel like it's about asking. I mean, if asking advice on any situation is technically putting the like emotional labor on other people, and I feel like that was no different of a situation.
Hey, GT, people are saying they can't really hear me, so I'm going to drop and come back. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm. Got a weird underwater vibe. I don't know that it's our place to pass that kind of judgment if it's not a criticism that we're hearing. If a tree
Agreed. I
falls,
wasn't passing judgment. I was just saying my
literally the
No, I
most
said my
judgy thing that
interpretation.
you could do.
I said my interpretation was
Mhm.
I got a sort of yucky feeling about it. And so I expressed that. I didn't
That
say
is-
like she's bad or she's terrible or she's doing wrong. I just said I get the ick.
Okay,
It didn't feel right.
all right.
I felt like she was centering herself in that story.
Okay.
I guess if we were having a conversation that was super specific to a black, maybe a black cause or something like that. But I kind of feel like she was actually really wanting to know, like, what does she do in these situations, because she's never had to deal with them before. Now, I can say, there are some times where I'm like, you know what, it is not my job to teach you how to be a great human being. But, also, I do feel like there are some times where it's just like, I can feel that people are not being malicious and they're just like, I just really need to know, like, I just really don't understand. So in that instance, I want to be someone who's supportive.
I think it's worth noting also that Isha requested to come up to talk to this woman who was talking to me about this. This was not foisted upon anyone. This was not demanded of anybody's emotional letter. She literally was like, I can do it. So I don't understand. I guess I just don't understand that criticism necessarily.
Yeah, I mean,
That's totally fair. And I joined kind of late, and I perhaps missed the lead up to it.
Believe me,
And
I
I joined halfway through it.
Believe me, there were some people in here I was just like, man, fuck you. But like, as when she was talking, I kind of felt like, okay, you know what, she really wants to be able to help her grandchildren. And so at that point, it's like, okay, well, this is where we need to come together as a people, just as humans, and say, hey, listen, this is my side of it, and I see where you're coming from, but I want to help you in that.
Turns out I'm not going to have a lot of fucking real world advice when it comes to this. So,
Well, that's very good then. And,
oh, great. Okay,
awesome. My mistake.
cool.
I misinterpreted.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We're all learning today. Cool. All right.
Is my audio better? Because apparently it wasn't great. Question.
Was it you underwater this whole time?
Somebody said Teddy needs to mute, and then I muted, so I don't know. So
No, I think it's fine.
okay, cool. I actually did want to say something to Miss Lori, the grandmother, because I am a mixed race person. I have a black mom and a white dad, and my grandma on my mom's side didn't like white people, and my grandma on my dad's side didn't like black people. And I was just stuck in the middle of a situation that I had no hand in creating. And one thing I did want to say is that I really appreciated where she was coming from, and I wanted her to know that I promise you, your grandchildren see you trying. I remember my dad, my white grandmother would send Christmas cards to the house addressed to only me and my dad, and not my mom or my completely, me and my sister had different dads, so she was 100% black, and they wouldn't be addressed to them, and he would throw them away without even opening them. And I remember a story that my mom told me. I don't remember this because I was too young, but I remember one day my maternal grandmother was playing with my sister, and they were like roughhousing, and I went over and started playing with them, and I was like, "Get off my sister!" And my grandma threw me off of her. And my mom had a pizza in her hand and went over and smushed the pizza in her face and was like, "Don't throw my baby." And and my life is honestly just, I had a grandpa who was he was a grandfather figure, and he tried to treat me and my sister differently. And my dad went to him and was like, "Absolutely not." Like, he tried to give me more gifts and stuff like that for Christmas, stuff like that. And he was like, "Absolutely not." And my life is just filled with stories like that, of like where I can see my parents making that effort. And so I wanted Lori to know that, like, I promise you, your grandkids see you showing that effort, and they're going to appreciate that more than anything.
That's a really good insight. Thank you.
Of course. Yeah, life is crazy, man.
Worth it. Worth the wait, Teddy.
Thanks. Yeah. And I also wanted to say that, because this was a kind of a common theme tonight, was that people talked about wanting to be that, how do I say this, wanting to be that person who is wanting to be an ally, essentially. And I also wanted to say, one of the most important things you can do is listen. Somebody said, "Where's the turtle slander?" Leave me alone. I apologize.
She apologized. It'll never leave, but she did apologize.
It will follow me everywhere. But yeah, listen. One of the most important things you can do is listen, and also encourage, especially dealing with Black women.
Oops.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
My phone was going dead. But one of the most important things you can do is listen and encourage them to speak up and speak their truth. And part of the reason that I say such absolutely reckless things is is that my parents encouraged me. I never felt silenced by them. They always encouraged me to speak my truth, and that's also very important, but also listening, and for me, I know that a lot of people are never going to understand where I come from, but saying, "I don't understand, but I hear you," is just as valuable as you saying, as you understanding where I am coming from.
Yep.
I think that I don't remember.
I can't, Isha, you sound like you were in an aquarium.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I think that's where she was actually coming from. Like the grandma, she was trying to figure out like, how do I do this? And it's just because she's just never had any experience in it. And so Teddy, just like he's saying, you had support where you could land softly and you could actually talk to somebody about it. She was just trying to figure out how does she be that supportive factor in that in her grandchildren's lives.
Really good.
Yeah.
Thanks, you guys.
Hey, podcast.
Podcast. I'm just gonna say that every time and never do anything about it. It's probably
No,
gonna happen.
you know what? You have the platform. I'm here. I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut.
We just.
I technically am also a squirrel trying to get a nut.
Jesus, ladies, we just got this back, dude.
I was invited to make that joke by my girl Isha here, so
Just go to bed, dude. Go to bed. Both of yous. Thank you so much. Can I just say, thank you guys. You're the best. Thanks, Isha. Listen, God, I don't know. I've said this 40 times. But it's fucking great having them.